Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Favorite wine, get comfortable, and get ready to pour your heart out. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations. It's your girl, Nini, and I want to thank you and welcome you for joining me here tonight. All righty, tonight we have a really good episode planned on a really hot topic that's been making its way around in social media, and I have some of our favorites that are going to join us on the panel tonight. All righty, so first I'm going to go ahead and bring on my girl, one of your favorites, Shaka, so that she can come on and we can get this episode started. Hey, Shaka.
Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, everyone. I'm doing well. Oh, wait. I'm doing better than I expected to be.
You're doing better than you expected. That sounds good. Sounds good. I want to thank you again for joining me last night. That was a really good episode. What do you think?
Why are you thanking me? Like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I was here for it. It was a good episode. It was a good talk. It got a lot of stuff out, and I think it's going to lead to more interesting conversations with some of these ladies and some of these men.
Yes. And, we're all about the interesting conversations. So last night was a really good one. So I'm really excited about that. What I'm more excited about is that it led to something that's going to be revisited eventually. So something that we discussed last night is going to make its way back around for another episode with the fellas. And, we love when we get to do a little collab with them. All righty. So speaking of the fellas, tonight is kind of about them because we're going to be talking about something that we get from them.
Oh yeah. All
right. So, cheers to Keela. Thank you so much for joining. Keela, let me know if you want to join us on this panel. All righty. So let's go ahead and get started. But before I bring on our very special guest, I want to just let everybody know where this topic came from. Because you're probably wondering, like, what is she talking about? The hunt for black sperm. So just in case you've been living under a rock, our girl, the Brat, and her wife, what did she call her? Beautiful, with the R in beautiful. They are expecting. So the Brat is with child, and with a lot of the same-sex relationships, and not just same-sex relationships, even man-woman relationships. Sometimes you can't, have a baby or get pregnant the old-fashioned way. You have to seek other ways. So, of course, for them, they had to do that, and they had to resort to going to a sperm bank, which, after all this started, I learned was called, I think it's pronounced a crino bank. Still not sure on that. But they had to resort to doing that. So it says that the Brat and her wife, Jessica Judy Dupart, faced difficulties finding a suitable black sperm donor for their first child. They ultimately chose a non-black donor due to the shortage of available black donors. This is not an isolated incident, as sperm banks report a severe lack of black donors. And I had absolutely no clue about that. So that became a whole big thing about them wanting to have a pretty baby, which shocked me that you would relate having a pretty baby with having a donor of the opposite ethnicity, but whatever. But that made us start thinking, like, why is there such a shortage in Black sperm? So I didn't want that to be just a conversation amongst us women. I wanted, the fellas to come on and join us, and maybe we can, talk about it and figure out like what's going on and what do we feel could be the reasons for it and what are their thoughts on it. So let me know what you think about the topic.
Me personally, I feel as if like I actually reached out to some guys, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the conversation. But I just feel like A was just something I never thought about. Like, going to a sperm bank or a cryo bank or whatever it's called, and B, trying to either put myself in that position where, what if I did want another child, or what if I'm with a partner who doesn't have children and they want more. And I never really thought about, having to search for the Black sperm. Like I wouldn't have thought that it was a shortage. I don't know why, but it. And then after speaking to some of these Black men that I spoke to, it's mind blowing. I actually reached out to one of my friends, a male friend of another race, just to get their opinion of it. So I got some stuff.
So this is going to be interesting. All right. So before we jump too deep in, we're going to go ahead and let our guests on. So let's go ahead and throw them up here with us. What's up, Mr. Straight Talk and Mike? How are you fellas doing tonight? You're muted. Hold on, let me unmute.
What's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes.
All right, this thing is glaring in the back of me. Hold on.
Okay.
Just
Mike, what's up?
I'm all right. How you ladies doing?
I'm good.
Doing well. How about yourself?
You feeling good tonight, Mike?
Say it again.
I said you feeling good tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Just a little retrospective, I guess. For lack of a better term.
Okay. I hope everything is okay. You don't look like your normal bubbly self, so I hope everything
is okay. I know, right?
I'm rarely bubbly.
I'm going to say this, and I don't want you to take offense. Do you need a hug? Because you look like you need a hug.
I always like hugs. I'll
give you an air hug.
Nah, you smell like matrimony. Going over there.
I
do. I'll be taking women.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump in on this. First of all, what do you fellas think about first off there being a shortage of Black sperm in these sperm banks? What do you think about that?
Master Straight Talk.
Go ahead, Mike, because I want to hear what you say first.
Personally, I would never do it. It's kind of like, all right, you know how they have those blood banks everywhere now? Like you go in with your card and everything. I don't know if maybe I'm just paranoid, but I always feel like they're trying to get my DNA somehow. But with the sperm bank, it's more personal. I don't want a child of mine to be in the world that I am not a part of raising. It makes no sense to me. Any woman that has ever been with me, any woman that has ever slept with me, any woman that has ever thought about being with me and had that conversation knows how I feel. I was raised by, well, let's see, I've had 3 dads. My first dad was killed when I was 3 months old, so I know my father. I never met him. The man who I considered my dad died when I was 6 years old, mistaken identity in New York. And then the third man to raise me was not really nurturing. He was more of I go get money and I give the woman money and that's all I really got to do, which I'm fine with. Like some men are just that way. I'm the exact opposite. I'm the type that, you know what I'm saying, if you've ever been on my TikTok or if you've ever been on Instagram, you know, I'm doing stupid videos with my daughter, you know, like that's who I am. I'm not going to have a child in this world that is raised with my DNA that doesn't know me. Just like any woman that's ever been with me knows, I'm not going to be an every other weekend dad. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to see my kid once every 2 weeks and be like, I'm great. I'm not that dude. So I can't just have my sperm out there swimming and I got some kid that lives in Montana with some woman I don't know who I don't know could be abusive to the kid, who might have read something wrong and didn't know, that I was whatever percentage black and maybe I'm a little too dark, or they saw the type of hair I have and they don't. There's just so, like, especially with the mind I have, I can think of so many different scenarios. I don't want any of them to come true. So I'm not putting myself out there, period. Just like I tell guys, if you don't want to be with a violent woman, once she hits you, leave. Simple and plain. Like, once you see the evidence of what could happen, you separate yourself. So I don't put myself in a position to have scattered sperm, for lack of a better term.
Makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And I think that I'm sure that you're not the only one that feels like that, as far as especially those that like you that are involved in your daughter's life. So I'm pretty sure that you're not the only one that feels that way.
No, I've had lesbian friends ask me to, let's have a threesome and give me a baby. I'm like, where am I gonna be? Oh, you could be Uncle X. Nah, I'm good. Like, you don't have to make some kind of throuple law or something. I'm just not giving my kid away. I can't do it.
I hear that. Need a throuple law.
Some kind of throuple. It makes sense to me.
Not the throuple law.
Need to find out who we need to, what legislator we need to write to get that in law.
Not the one in our state. That's well, sorry, we won't go there.
Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Hello.
That's a show in itself.
Right, there's several shows, several episodes, seasons.
Mr. Straight Talk, what do you think about it?
I was about to say, can we break up the love fest now? So here's what I say. I agree with Michael. I'm not gonna. I think I'm reading the reports now, and it's saying that sperm donorship amongst Black men is only 2 to 4% nationwide, but these are the same women that say Black men are absent in their kids' lives. Black men are making a conscious effort not to donate to sperm banks because, like Mike said, we don't want to leave a bunch of fatherless kids out. That's the way I see it. I don't want to donate my sperm so any kid of mine will be walking around here not knowing me, not with me being in their life. And also, I mean, truth of the matter is, I don't want to be making any kids that I'm not directly a part of being in the action of making them. I mean, sex is great. I don't want to be making any kids that I wasn't in the sexual action of making. Like, that's crazy. But truth of the matter is, we don't, regardless of what people say, we don't want to have more fatherless children out there. And when you and some people may say, oh, well, it's helping people who can't have kids, or it's helping. That's just not how I see it. I see it as, especially in this case where it's two women, it's me saying, like, all right, I'm giving my seed out to another kid that's not going to have a father. And that's just a big no-no for me.
Oh, could I throw one more thing in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a lot less serious, but it's something I truly believe. I think if I'm having a baby, I want it to be my best sperm. I don't think masturbation sperm into a cup is the best. That's not my best sperm. I want like second round, sweaty. She ain't even moving no more. She just on her side looking at me like, I ain't know it was like that, big. Like, I want that to be my baby.
I want to be an overachiever.
Why not? This is what I'm saying. Like, I want that to be my baby. I don't want my baby to be like, I got a cold or I was drinking. I don't want no Hennessy baby. You feel me? Like, that don't make no sense. I don't want no vodka baby. I want a second round. I was putting in work. I'm gonna call him as soon as I get home, baby. Let me leave these panties in the couch, baby. You know what I'm saying? God.
If you're gonna do it right, basically.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want no, ooh, this cup is sexy. I ain't never seen a sexy cup in my life. I digress.
What we gonna do with him?
Find me a wife. Shit.
I was looking at some stats before we came in from off of the Washington Post, and they did a bar graph showing the number of sperm donors by race at the 4 leading U.S. sperm banks, and this was as of October of last year. For white men, it said it was 391. For Asian, 262. For Hispanics, 54. For other, 47. And then for blacks, it was 12. So the issue that the Brad and her wife were having is that obviously they wanted some black sperm, but they were like, there wasn't a lot to choose from. And 2, they had to take into consideration, they did their own testing to see what genes they carry and all of that, this things that run in their family and all of that. And they said that there was only one black sperm that met that criteria. And apparently they didn't like how he looked or something. That was a whole nother debate. And then, so they tried to wait longer to see if any more black sperm was going to come in. But you have this window of, when you're ovulating and when you're inserting the egg, sperm and all that. So you had this window that they had to go within. So they ended up having to go with sperm that was not black.
So hold on, let me ask you something real quick. Because I'm naive to this, obviously. Aren't the donors anonymous? Like, don't you know what the donors look like? How is that? I thought that it was anonymous. I thought it was an anonymous donation.
Everything that I had always heard was like it was by numbers or something. So I'm not sure. Shaka may know.
So from just researching, it seems though it just depends on the type of establishment that you go to donate. So and the type of donor that you're going to be. Some people want to know who the father is, who, like, what they look like, their IQ. Like, it gets deep. There's layers to this thing. Like, you can find out, family history. It's almost like what are those things, like the DNA test? If you want to go back, if you want to go back to your ancestry and just find out like all these things. So it just kind of depends on the type of donor you are, and then also the price of donating. It plays a factor in that. So depending on if you're going to give all your information, if you're going to give some information, that's how they pay you as well.
That's what I was thinking, because they have money, so they can probably get whatever information that they wanted.
Yeah, they're not getting sperm from me and Mike. Like, they getting it from people that obviously come from what they consider a good stock.
Right.
Not necessarily though. Not necessarily.
Man, broke people giving sperm. Ain't nobody that
Right.
If I'm up $2 million, I don't give a damn who got a baby. I get my own baby. I ain't worried about you. And 2, every single time somebody in humanity has tried to create like a perfect human, or I'm gonna make it always goes wrong. So I need them to stop before they make a new Hitler. Like, just let it go. Find a dude that you thought looked cute and just go ahead and get it. All this. That's all I'm saying. Why we gotta do all this? It's crazy.
Yeah,
because there's a shortage of black sperm.
No, there's
not.
There's a at the black sperm at the cryo bank.
Right. So if I choose to go to a cryo bank, I've been on all these dates. I've met all these black men. Some, educated, some not educated, some who, just may be regular blue collar workers, some who may not be, right? I've gone through all of this and none of them meet my criteria. So you know what? I'm tired of dating. I'm just going to go to this cryo bank. I'm just going to go ahead and just get it done. So as I'm flipping through pages, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. Doesn't mean that I can't find a man. Yeah, there's a shortage of black sperm in the cryo banks, not in out in the world. Of course, there's sperm everywhere. I mean, y'all come a dime a dozen, right? Ain't that what they say? But I'm just saying, I feel like if I choose to go that route,
that's exactly what it means. You can't find and hold a man. That's exactly what it means.
No, that does not mean I can't find and hold a man. It just means that they're not qualified to meet whatever my criteria may be.
If you're making the qualifications, you're the one pricing yourself out the game. That's you.
I'm not pricing myself out the game.
and the problem. It's you.
It's not a problem, and there's no there's boundaries, yes, but it's not a problem.
If it wasn't a problem, you'd have a baby.
No, I can have a baby with whomever I choose to have a baby with.
That's like if
there's no issue.
Like I say, I want a baby, but I only want a woman with 3 nipples. Now I'm out here mad at women because they ain't got 3 nipples. That don't make no damn sense.
Mike and his examples, though.
Yeah, that was a terrible example, Mike.
That was a perfect example. I'm looking for a woman that's not real. They putting all these criteria on men, and most of that shit don't.
Hold on, because
that's the whole thug with a doctorate.
Hold on, because before we take this all left, I want to know a couple of things first. What's the percentage? What's the percentage of Black women go into these banks?
A bunch.
I mean, I feel like I don't know the percentage. I can look it up though. I'll look up the percentage, but just reaching out to people that I know or that people are open to different ideas or just random people that I ask, not a lot of women that I know said that they were opposed to it, that want children. But again, keep in mind, I'm in my 40s. Like, I'm not having no babies. I done had a whole hysterectomy. Like, ain't no babies. Ain't nobody, ain't got nothing to hold. Nobody ain't trying to. But what I did find was interesting. What I did find interesting was that they pay most men somewhere between $100 and $150 for their sperm, but for a woman to donate her eggs is several thousand.
Yeah.
Oh, several thousand.
Juju said that she's about to give some of her eggs.
Girl, if I was a little bit younger, if I would have known, if I would have known better.
Don't do it. Y'all stop giving these people your DNA. Don't do it.
So hold on again. So we first got to get the number of what's the percentage.
Yeah, let me look it up.
And secondly,
from what I read, they did a study where they looked at black women specifically between the ages of 35 and 45, because I guess they're assuming that usually it's going to be the older women that are looking to get the sperm. So black women between the ages of 35 and 45 are more likely to remain unmarried than women from other racial groups. And those are the ones that they are looking at getting the sperm. So it says 44% of non-Hispanic black women are out there looking to get sperm compared to only 16% of white women. So it's more of us out there trying to get sperm, and I'm sure first choice would be black sperm, but then there's fewer than 2% of the countries for largest sperm banks have black sperm there. So it's like the little bit that's there, they're being fought over.
Okay, so let me ask you this question again then. So and again, I don't know how many children can one donation make?
You think they separating sperm?
No, but I mean, you're only injecting one bit. So like if they're getting a vial of sperm, like how many eggs is that supposed to do?
One.
You sure?
It's no different than having sex. When you're having sex, you release all these millions and hundreds of thousands, and they literally let them go, meet up with the egg, and may the best sperm win.
I think that'd be stupid. They probably get harness a couple. They should at least harness a couple asses, like one egg to like all the sperm. There's a good chance it doesn't work.
Yeah, you got it.
Right, but that's why. But think of it like this. So when women donate their eggs, we're donating not just one egg at a time. Like they extract. You know what I'm saying? All these eggs. So yeah, they put these sperm, the sperm with the egg, but it's just, again, may the best sperm win. I mean, unless you're having like triplets or, sextuplets or, whatever amount, which is usually high when you do IVF. So
you just wanted to say sex.
So can I
say sex.
You just want to say sex.
Right.
You just want to say sex.
Can I derail the conversation real quick or not?
It depends.
What you gonna do?
No, we're gonna stick to the topic. I just want to derail the conversation.
Derail it. Go for it.
So the bigger picture, and again, if you were getting to it later, then I'll stop. But the bigger picture here is we have two women getting married or are married, wanting to have a baby. So
Mm-hmm.
you're totally breaking nature, and now complaining that there aren't enough black men to make your baby.
That's not mine. I got a whole different one.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so you got man and woman are supposed to procreate regardless of what you believe. We're not talking about beliefs here. In nature, men and women are supposed to procreate. It goes that way in the animal kingdom and everything. So now you want to go against nature and now expect to be accommodated with what you want for going against said nature.
When you could have just went and just
when you could have just went and did it. Like, is that where we are now?
Didn't I say that? Y'all said I was crazy.
Yes. Yeah, nobody said you were crazy, but yes, that's where we are now. Clearly we're talking about the brat and her wife, right?
But even past that, though, there are
men that
are still suffering. Like, if Trevor and I couldn't conceive on our own, we may had to take another route, and then we would be left in a position of, dang, there isn't enough black sperm. Like, okay, what are we going to do? And
well, no one else is impregnating my wife.
I know that.
I mean, I'm sorry to say, but
you better put that flag on that wound, boy.
That shit ain't going down like that. We would just have to go without. Honestly, we would just have to go without. I mean, seriously.
I know, but you're acting like it's the moon. One step for man, one step for man. Like, that is not how you. You don't flag your womb.
I claim this land for
mother. That's my womb.
Stop it. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
It's a big EN.
That's not how any of this works.
You a lie. But this is what I gotta say. Why are we like giving love to these loser women?
Why they gotta be losers?
Gotta be losers, Mike.
Let me explain. These are the women who could not make it work with a guy, who either had their standard. My standards are just what they are, and I'm never gonna compromise. That's those women. It's the these dusties. Them one. Why am I supposed to feel bad for the women that when every, and here goes the word, everyone, every thought in the world can get pregnant? I got to worry about these heifers that refuse to. Oh, thank you. I need that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I need a bell, so every time he say the word thought, my bell just go off.
And we're going to make it a drink.
Everybody
take a shot. But I'm saying, why should I feel bad for these women who, like Trevor, I send you videos all the time. You see the mind state these women have, where it's the world will bend to my will, and you're going to do what I want. And if you don't get a baby, you don't get a baby. Everybody doesn't get a baby. That's the way it is. Trevor, did you get to hit Rihanna? No. Did you get to hit? No. Everybody don't get what they want. It don't work like that.
in trouble.
You're right.
But Mike, what about? Okay, I understand what you're saying about the ones that are just standards too high. But what about just the regular man-woman relationships? They're having to go to the sperm banks as well.
Right. So let's talk about the men. So let's talk about the men whose penises don't work and they're married or in these relationships.
One second. Hold on. 1 second, real quick. Lem, I know you may be real busy or something, but at some point you're gonna have to hit the panel because it's hard to conversate with your chat. Like, I'm trying to read your chat and then try to do a rebuttal to it, but you're more than welcome. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm saying, even if the dude Jimmy don't work, you can make it hard enough to get but something.
It don't work.
And I done caught me.
Or he just may be shooting.
It don't work. It don't work.
Hey,
it don't work.
You ready?
It don't work.
It's not in the cards for everybody.
So because we together.
I want the little, the little things, the little Jesus joints. When you wear like the bikinis and get the little Jesus joints under the abs, I want those. I'm never gonna have.
What is that?
Have an 8-pack.
I think he's talking about the
Speedos. Okay, so listen. So if we are in a day and age where we can put a man on the moon and we can do all these people who aren't even astronauts and not to bring up future topics if this is ever gonna be one, y'all can build a whole robot wife, but because your dick don't work, I don't know if I can say dick, but because it don't work, yeah, if your dick don't work and we together, that means I just suffer and don't have a child because you're tainted, because you're the fucking loser. Your words, not mine.
That's selfish.
That's what that means. So I just don't get a kid.
Shaka, that's selfish.
You remember what happened last Thursday?
It's selfish?
No, but she's saying no. He's saying that if the man's sperm,
if he has ED, right? If he has erectile dysfunction,
that's not fair.
He's saying, because I'm the one because the man is tainted, I gotta suffer and not have a child because you have an issue. That doesn't make sense to me.
So hold up. If it was the other way around, would it be okay if he left you and went?
Yes. If we're together and we're together, absolutely. No. Wait a minute. To each his own, right? So if we have sat down as a couple and we have communicated, and these are the things that we want as a couple, and we decide that we want a child by any means necessary, and there are men outside of the two of you who have an open mind, and they say, okay, well, let's maybe just go pick out whatever, to accommodate our needs and our wants for our family. Absolutely. It's okay.
She's not saying leave him and just go have a baby. She's saying
with some random person.
If he's unable to impregnate her and they say, okay, together we want to go to the cryo bank to get some sperm, but you're saying that if he can't do it, then it's just not in the cards for them.
I'm saying if any couple has a conversation, anything can happen. We're not fine.
Right.
We're not fine. You can have a conversation to have an extra girlfriend.
Right.
Whatever. Anything can happen. I'm not talking about them. You guys always love to go to the bell curves. You guys like to go to the
bell curves. We're talking about people in general.
This conversation is black sperm not being available, not just to
gay couples or lesbian couples, to everyone.
Women standards may be too high. We're talking about everybody.
Some people it's just not in the cards for them. That's
true. Okay.
It's not in the cards.
I can agree with that.
Let's be clear. There's some women that should not be parents. Just because
I agree. I agree.
Have a child.
I know.
I agree. Now that right.
I know. Some
right.
50, 11 kids, and I think they balls need to be locked up.
Right.
But just because it can happen doesn't mean it should. Is all I'm saying. I don't know why y'all getting aggressive.
No one's being aggressive. Maybe we're just being passionate about our answers.
Hold on.
It was not violent.
Hey, hold on. You gotta, because you guys don't have on headphones. I do. It's really bad. Like the over talking. You're gonna have to let somebody get their point out and then move on, because it's like it's coming really bad in my ears now. Really, really bad. It's sounding like a bunch of.
All right, let's move on to as far as
hold on. I did have I wanted to say something though. I wanted to say something. No, I did want to say something. I forgot. It'll come back to me. I forgot. It can't. I forgot. Go ahead.
You need a dome massage. Gotta rub the dome.
So I will say this. I feel as though I don't think that it's being selfish. I don't think that it's, just because I want this and I haven't discussed it with my guy doesn't mean that it's all about me and my wants and my needs and all of that. As a couple in a relationship, this is something that we've discussed. I feel like it's cool to have that conversation for us to do what works best for us in our relationship. But I will agree with you, Mike, which is very rare. But I will agree with you and say, I feel like you need a license to do everything in this world but have a kid. You got to prove, if I want to drive a motorcycle, that I know how to ride a motorcycle. If I want to drive a vehicle, if I want to drive an 18-wheeler, I got to take certain tests. If I want to become a pharmacist, if I want to become a doctor, I got to pass state boards. I got to go to school for these things. But for me to get pregnant from whomever, wherever, however, I can just have a baby, and it is what it is. Whether I know what I'm doing or not, it doesn't matter.
I think
so, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Everybody's womb and everybody's balls should be on lock until they pass a half-sense test.
Listen, I feel like there should be a law, Pat. You should apply for your ovary and or your sperm. But that's just a whole nother conversation. I'm just
Go
saying
Nan
that's a
Law.
whole
I'm
nother.
for law.
Ovary application.
Correct.
Lawsuit.
I mean, correct.
And
Correct.
they have a
Facts.
limit
Correct.
on how
Correct.
many you can get.
Correct. And it's a time frame. It's a time frame. It's a time frame.
Lord, I know some
And
that's
the first
been
thing is a morality clause.
overly using them things. What effect, though, with black sperm being so rare and so scarce, what effect do you all see that having on our black culture, our black society, because they're not able to, those that can't have them naturally, what effect do you see that happening on our society, our culture?
So, speaking to different men on this particular subject, I found that a lot of black men feel the same way that you all feel, where it's mine. It's a part of me. I don't want to just have it out there and not know what happened to it. I don't, want to come back with oh, this is your kid. You need to pay whatever child support, being on that trend or whatever. But I feel like when it comes to having like our culture, our people, populating them, this is also a hindrance for us because regardless of my relationship status or however I choose to conceive a child in a relationship, if I can't go out and find the suitable black sperm for me, then what happens to our generations? What happens to our culture? What happens to our black race?
Hey, I think rich white women are buying up all the black sperm and they making all these black angry ass Republicans. And that's how we getting all the Ben Carsons and
I can't even be mad at that comment, Mike. I was going to ask because when I was looking at what are some challenges that can come from it, bias within the medical field was something that kept coming up too.
Yes.
Bias in the medical field and just the education of it within our community. But I can't even be mad at it.
I'll tell you one day about the biases in the medical field where this woman tried to convince me I was on drugs. This nurse. Oh
tried to convince you?
Tried to tell me, we know you're on drugs, just tell me. I'm like, ma'am, I'm way too chubby to be a crackhead. Like, what you talking about?
Do I look like I smoke crack?
You feel me? And she just gave me 2 whole drug tests before she believed in that. Somebody else. I don't want to see this heifer again. Yeah, don't let these medical people punk y'all.
Wow. And that's a fair statement because having a medical field background, I've known, like, when I was younger, I was having anxiety, but I didn't realize it was anxiety, and I was having this chest pain, right? So in my mind, I'm having a heart attack because I have a whole family history of, heart disease and all these things. And I can agree with you, Mike. I went to the ER, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack. And they were like, okay, what'd you take? I was like, I didn't take anything. That's neither here nor right. Just assuming that's neither here nor there. But I will say this. So about the black sperm, I feel like there's a couple of guys that I spoke to that said that they would be willing to donate. However, one of them in particular said it just depends on who my sperm is going to. So just like we have the preference or we want to know, who we're going to pick as a donor, that particular donor, if he were to become one, wants to know where his sperm is going because he doesn't want the child to end up, not having, a great life per se or the perfect whatever, you know what I mean? So I can understand that. But I also feel like this. If you give up that parental right, it's almost like when you give your child up for adoption. So let's say we don't do the whole sperm donation and we decide to give our child up for adoption and you have your stipulation of, I wanted to go to a black family. I wanted to, have a certain stature financially in the community. I want them to be this. I want them to be that. But it's like if you're giving up your rights as a parent and as a donor, why do you not have a say so on what happens to your sperm? So that's another way of looking at it. Then I also have a guy who said no, he would not give up his sperm because, again, like Trevor and Mike, he wants to know what happens to his seed. It's his child. He just doesn't want to have it out running around in this country or world or what have you. But at a young age, well, not at a young age, but in his 30s, he decided to have a vasectomy. So he had a vasectomy, but he also saved some of his sperm for later, and he only has one child. So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about these black men who have all these children out here from random women, whether they take care of them or not, getting a vasectomy? Because men are quick to say women need to have go get your tubes tied, which is a whole outpatient surgical procedure, versus y'all could just go into an office and 15 minutes later walk out and y'all good.
That whole not getting a vasectomy thing is based in fear and machismo. Like, guys just, that's just how guys are. Like, I have no problem with that if I'm done having kids. Like, as long as I can still shoot some, whatever, I don't really care. No, I'm being dead ass. As long as it don't mess up the feeling, I really don't care. But
it doesn't mess up the feeling.
I wouldn't know. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And a brother need a receipt. I need to make sure I did that, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So, but what? That's a valid point.
What do you mean receipt? A receipt of what?
I need to see that I got that out of me. I did that. That's my pleasure right there on her belly or her forehead, or depending on what we're talking about.
Not on the forehead, Mike.
Hey, I'm a freak. I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm just saying.
Not on the forehead.
Sorry. Oh, she asked. I tried to be cool about it. She asked.
Yeah, but I didn't ask. Okay, you're right. That's my bad. I won't ask you nothing else. You're right. Just
like some women like this. I want a receipt. That's it.
They like to.
They squirt, ma'am. Squirt.
You right. I don't. How old are we? Why are we? Use your words. We talk about sperm. How respectful? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you all think that there are any like stigmas or judgments that can be? And we're not just talking about at this point the bread anymore, because they got their judgment stigma and they had to keep going back doing interviews trying to clean up what they said and all of that.
They trying to make that money.
Thinking about like the everyday people like us that are like going out there trying to, well, not us, but going out there trying to get sperm, have babies. Do you think there are any stigmas or judgments that could come within the community to those that may have to seek sperm from other ethnicities?
Of course. Black people are the number one creators of BS stigmas. Oh, you ain't had a baby and you were 35 as a man, you gotta be gay. Oh, you ain't had a baby and you a woman, your coochie broke. Oh, you ain't got, your dick must this, your coochie must that. Black people make up bullshit for any reason, for anything they could think of. Oh, I saw your kid bump into the wall. He must be on the spectrum. What if he just tripped? Nah, got his mind. We got to get him a helmet. That's black people. Now, don't listen to black people. Black people stupid. That's just how I feel about it.
I mean, there's clearly stigmas, because Mike legit gave us a whole stigma in the very beginning saying we're losers and our priorities are too high and women that's why y'all have a problem. Y'all have an issue because it's you, it's whatever.
A specific subset of women, man.
She asked a question that was about stigmas, and I'm just
answer her question, sir.
I'm just saying. But of course, I mean, but again, it don't matter what we do. It doesn't matter. They're going to talk. You know what I mean? You're going to be the topic of conversation. Whether I'm a single black woman that, who is, just wanting to have a child and not necessarily need the man in my life to raise that kid, but I'm ready to be a mother, because I'm at that age, or I'm now feeling very nurtured, or I'm very settled in my life and I'm not out and about and out here and I'm not outside and thotting and bopping and twerking and listening to Meg Thee Stallion, I'm now, more reserved and I'm ready to be that mother. Somebody gonna talk crap. They're gonna say, oh, well, clearly it's something wrong with her. Her standards are too high. Or she has this or she has that. So it doesn't matter what you do. If I choose to be a single woman and I decide to go to family Thanksgiving and I end up not having a baby, when you gonna get married? When you gonna do, like, people always gonna have something to say. They always gonna talk. Like my grandmother used to say, they talked about Jesus, so why you think you the exception?
I hear it. Always have something to say.
That's a hard song about Jesus.
Yes.
Mr. Straight Talk, you have anything you want to add to it? You look like you might.
You just looking
at. I mean, I did want to bring up the percentage because you were talking about community building. Only 13% of Black women go to these sperm banks. So I don't think it'll have a big effect at all with the lack thereof of black sperm anyway. It just, I mean, black women are having babies at a ridiculously high rate as it is. So it's not like they're lacking. So for the ones that do need to go to the banks, I mean, I wouldn't be against making some type of pact, like with a close friend that you know or something like that. To try to do at least as somebody that you know that you may not have to do the act, but you could at least be like, well, let's make this deal, and at least they'll have a dad in their life, worst case scenario. So, but I'm looking at the percentages. The percentages of black women are so low. 73% of white women are using these services, and only 13% of black and 4% of Hispanics. And there's no coincidence with that black women and Hispanic women are the ones that are having babies at ridiculously high rates and out of wedlock. So I don't think the lack of sperm. I don't think the lack of sperm in the banks itself is a cause for any major concern. I just think that it. I mean, I don't know. The numbers are much lower than I thought. I thought I was going to see some high number like 30% or 40%. I mean, at 13%, 13% at 33 million, at what, 41 million black people. So probably let's say 25 million black women across America. 13% of that is going to sperm banks. I mean, I don't think the number is that great to affect anything. As far as community building, especially when you have all these. Somebody just brought up, men having all these different babies with multiple women. I mean, the babies are still being made. Like, I mean, it's still being made.
So I have two questions. So Mike and Trevor, let me ask you all this. So one of the guys that I was asking, this question about, like, would they go into a sperm bank to donate, not because a lesbian couple asked them or somebody they know wants to have a baby and they want to use their sperm, but just in general, walking by, you decide to donate. Do you all feel like how, and not to get off topic, but I just kind of want to know, how, like, they used to do these testing on, African American people, like the whole Tuskegee Airmen thing or whatever. Do you all feel like if black men go into a sperm bank, are they really utilizing your sperm? Because one of the guys I talked to said, I don't feel like they're doing it. I feel like they're just trying to get our DNA, like they're upset. So do you all feel like that's more of what it really is versus a shortage of black sperm in these sperm banks?
They want our DNA. They want our sperm. They want to learn how to get these quick twitch muscles. They want a white Jimmy Butler by Christmas. Y'all don't understand. They want a white Florence Griffith FloJo.
We got Kevin Love. We good.
They trying to rob us. They want to steal everything about us, and then they want to kill us off. I keep telling y'all, white supremacy's end game is to become black people with no melanin. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want to have a white Clarence Thomas and be mad that he's not as vicious as the black one was. Like, that's how none of them. Sorry. Go ahead, Trevor.
I was wondering that, though, like, how we blacks have to sometimes resort to getting like the white sperm or something like that in a case of, like, would they will allow, I'm sure they would, but are there like white people out there that are actually looking to get black sperm themselves? How they like adopting our babies and all of that, going to Africa to adopt? That's something that I was wondering, like, what does that look like, or the numbers for that, the whites looking to try to get black sperm themselves?
Specifically, yeah, for black sperm. Yeah. Trevor, what do you think?
Black men are real quick to want to do stuff for white women. So the fact of the matter is, you look at the numbers, they just are not going. They just are not going. So even if I would buy the whole DNA robbing argument, which I used to believe that a lot, but the more I think about it, we live in a world now. We live in a world now where guys are making sex robots and stuff like that. If you want to make something, you can make it. You don't need to rob. I'm not saying it doesn't go on, but you don't need to rob people's DNA and stuff. They're killing us a whole bunch of different ways than that. The statistics just show that the black men are just not going. They're just not going. So it's not like they're going and being robbed. They just don't want to go because regardless of what people think, black men don't want to leave a lot of fatherless children out here. They don't.
Yeah, you're right. And you're right. I literally reached out to about, and not to cut you off, I'm sorry if I did. I literally reached out to about maybe 10 to 11 black guys. And out of the 10 to 11, I will honestly say 9 of them were like, I'm not trying to have my DNA, my sperm, parts of me, my ancestry out here with whomever for whatever reason. Like they were being very, cautious and basically selfish with their sperm, which, then I started to look up different types of statistics where everyone likes to say, oh, it's black men who are out here leaving their kids and they're not being, these real fathers that they need to be. And the reality of it is, it's not really the black community. Like, regardless of if we're married or not together, a lot of us are co-parenting and we're co-parenting very well. You know what I mean? A lot of us are not with, the fathers of our children or the mothers of our children, but we are still fathers and mothers to our children, if that makes sense. So I just feel like it's this horrible statistic that they have when it comes to the black community or the African American community where black fathers are absent. No, to be honest with you, I know more black mothers who are absent in their children's lives than I know black fathers.
Hey, this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are the people, the people that I'm saying they take our DNA for. These are the people they're making with it. They're making weak pseudo black people. I ain't gonna say no names, but one of them just got fired on the news. I ain't gonna say his name, but you know who it is. They making these orange, yellow, fake black people to like come in. And you ever notice how there'll be a strong movement and then there'll be some yellow motherfucker that come in and just, I don't really believe that the police are doing it. I think the police are great. It'll always be somebody like that. That's them dudes. That's them dudes that look like Colin Kaepernick, but they don't have his mentality. They look like Patrick Mahomes, but don't have the mentality. That's them dudes. That's them orange dudes with the fluffy hair that like to surf. That's them dudes.
I feel some kind of way. Don't say that. I feel some kind of way.
But Shaka,
every time you go, you get extra black. You all right.
Shaka, if the y'all can hear me because my headphones cut out.
Yes, I can hear you.
If you talk about, I mean, and the statistic is true, is out there. Black men are in the home. Black men are taking care of their kids more than any other race of people.
I believe that.
It's out there. But the media spins it another way. And they're allowed to run with that narrative, though, because you guys don't step up and stop it and correct it. So instead of saying, like, when they're saying, oh, black men aren't in the home, instead of just being like, no, but wait a minute, they are. On a whole, you have black women like, yeah, my baby daddy ain't there. He ain't shit. He not this. He not that. So you just feeding into that narrative, feeding into that stereotype. But yeah, I don't.
Those are the louder ones.
Yeah.
All the time. People always personalize it. They act like their life is life. Your life is just your bullshit.
Right.
The man knows the fuck that you knew was already fucking your homegirl up the block and that girl on 3rd Street. Now you mad at all of y'all got babies at the same age. You got hood triplets. That ain't my fault. So why you mad at me?
Yeah, I got a family member like that.
I know 3 women like that.
Yeah, I got a family member like that. It's literally her daughter and then 2 boys, and they're all like a couple weeks apart.
And I bet he's still stroking at least 2 of them.
Yeah, he got a lot of kids.
Might be all of them.
But Mike crazy though.
Not my cousin though. Not my cousin. She not in the mix. But yo. Mm-hmm.
Lem has a good question for us ladies. How would we feel if our partner had made a donation prior to our relationship and then that child or the parent who got the sample shows up later? How would we feel? And then he asked, or should our partner tell us that they made a donation?
See, I don't know. Somebody else can go first.
I got
Well,
my
it's
hat
to
ready.
us.
He said the ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's us. Okay. So I feel like this. I feel like I would feel some kind of way and I'm just being 100%. If we together and then all of a sudden, 5, 10, whatever years later, somebody show up at our doorstep talking about this your kid, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm gonna look at my man stupid. I'm sorry, what? This who? Say what now? Cause yeah, where we do that at? We're not gonna do a whole Mary J. Blige, look at their eyes and all this other foolishness. We're not doing that. But now, I probably would still feel some type of a way because I'm human, even if you did share this information with me, right? So we're dating, we're getting to know each other, and you decide to say, hey, tell me something I don't know. And they're like, oh, I donated some sperm years ago, when I was in college, I needed the money or whatever the situation or could be. And let's say we're now together and 5 years into our relationship, some woman shows up or some man or however the kid got there about this is your kid. I can't do it anymore. I need help, blah, 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 whatever. I'm still going to feel some type of way. So yeah, we can talk about it, but I honestly don't know that I'm going to be cool with it because I'm going to feel some type of way. I mean, I'm just going to feel some type of way.
Because you're human, and I would feel the same way.
Would it be the same though if a guy had a random fling with a woman years before you, and then all of a sudden the baby shows up?
I'm still gonna feel some type of way because
hold on, two-part question. Two-part question. So
okay.
So you're saying that you want them to disclose their partners then, even though it was way before you. Okay. All right. As long as you're saying that. Okay.
I asked those questions. Go ahead, Mike.
So why women get all bent out of shape when brothers be asking for the body count?
That's what I'm driving.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Okay, I can't speak again. I am not the National Association of African American Women, right? But I will speak for Shaka. And you can ask any man that I've talked to, any man that I've dated, any man that we've had some type of a connection. I ask stupid and I ain't gonna say stupid, but I ask random questions. And I will get that question, well, how many people you ever slept with in your life? I don't care that we in our 40s. I don't care that we, damn near 50. I want to know. Like, have you had a one night stand? Why did you have a one night stand? How come you never hit it again? Was it her? Was it you? Like, what's the thing? Like, I ask these questions because for this particular reason, I've had friends and people that I know and women and whomever and men where, they didn't had a one night stand when we was in our 20s and now 30 years later, they like, look, this your baby. I didn't want to say nothing. You was in something. It was one night. I felt like a hoe. I didn't want to go out and let everybody know who the daddy was, but it was you. And now you showing up at my doorstep with my kid or with, maybe now my now husband's child. I'm going to feel some kind of way. It's going to be a problem because I know for a fact that Shaka, I straight up asked you who you fucked, who you didn't fuck, how many times did you have these one night stands, and you said nothing to me. And now it's a lady standing at the door holding the baby, and the baby got your eyes. What we doing?
Man, Mr. Earl got them same eyes.
You don't know who daddy baby that is.
Right. I'm just saying, and I don't know either. So then it puts you in that mindset of, okay, so now do I compromise and stand by my man? Or do I feel some type of way and have a right to have an attitude or have a right to be like, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. This ain't what I want.
You can do both, but just don't leave.
No, I might be out. I might be out. Yeah, because my peace of mind is worth way more than you and the love I have for you and this random ass child that didn't appear. Like, no.
What's the statute of limitations then?
I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about a statute of limitations.
Fellas, do you feel that is something that should be disclosed? Like if the guy has, made the donations just to let, not necessarily even a girlfriend, but if it's to a point where, okay, I'm going to marry this person and get that serious, do you think that that's something that the male should disclose?
Yeah.
In case?
Yeah, I believe so.
Do you all give your body counts?
I think anything I'm cool with disclosing. But you better be able to give it.
That's fair.
Shaka, some questions you guys really don't want to know the answers to.
I want to know. I can't, again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I want to know.
I'm not going to hold you. I like when they do things that they can't flip it. Like if they ask a question and they say they want the answer but they can't handle it. I like that because now I know to get you out of my life because I don't want to hold you and then I actually fall for you and now you can't deal with something later on. I'd rather you leave early.
That's fair.
I'm a happy
get it up front and out the way.
That's fair, and that's fair. And as a woman, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that guy telling me what it is, how it is, and then letting it be my decision if I choose to stay or to go.
Stop flirting with me. We on camera, girl. Go on somewhere.
All right, before we get too far off of the topic of the sperm, though, I just wanted to talk about because something that I wanted to know, like, what is the criteria, Lord, the criteria
You are a teacher.
for, I know, right? I'm tired. What's the criteria for donating sperm? All right, so it says that the criteria is not specifically targeted at any ethnic group. But the process requires a detailed physical and a psychological exam, a 3-generation family medical history. So that's one reason why the brat and her wife said that they were having issues with a lot of the black sperm that was there because they did that medical. So thinking about what their medical history is and looking at the medical history of the sperm donors, it requires a criminal background check, genetic screening, and semen analysis. And men need to be between the ages of 18 and 39 to donate. And many cryobanks require them to be at least 5'7". And donors with higher education are favored. What do you all think about that criteria?
I don't think children should be allowed.
Say it again, Mike.
Go ahead, T.
No, go ahead, because what I'm gonna say. Go ahead.
I don't think anybody close to teenhood should be able to donate. I don't think you should be able, if they can't make a decision to buy alcohol, why should they be allowed to donate their sperm? Why should they start at 18? That's crazy.
I mean, what y'all brains don't develop until y'all 24, 25 anyway, fully for the guys. So
y'all ain't that far behind. So go ahead, Miss with that.
It seems like in the sperm bank they vet the man more than the actual woman does who having the babies with them the regular way. I mean, because a lot of you guys just having babies with any and everybody, but I didn't know like what's with the criminal background, like what's.
I don't want no felon, because if you's a felon, then that means your seed might be a felon, and I'm not trying to have no. I gotta bail my baby daddy out, and I gotta bail his baby out. Like, come on now, no.
That might run in the genes.
Right. It might be hereditary. You know how y'all black men are. Like,
I guess Malcolm X and Martin Luther King can't have no kids then, right?
Absolutely not, because they felons. Well, they're not felons. They were just arrested. They're not felons. Okay. Well, Malcolm was a felon, but that's different. It was Malcolm X. Like, he was cute.
You didn't know it was Malcolm X until he became Malcolm X.
I knew he was Malcolm X before. I had a premonition.
He was Malcolm Little with his little permy ass.
Right, he was Malcolm. Malcolm X, Malcolm Little, same thing.
I'm gonna bite you, shot. Go on.
I'm so sick of you putting. Thank God I got my tetanus shot. I'm so sick of you.
Okay. Well, something else, though. Hold on. Something else that I found interesting is that the FDA, they had a ban on men who have sex with men, and that has remained in effect since like 2005. So they're not allowing gay men to donate their sperm. Right. So
I actually reached out to one of my friends who is gay and asked if they would donate, and I did not know that they don't allow gay men to donate because of that reason. They feel that it could be, I don't want to get your sperm, and then I have this son, and my son is now gay because the father who donated becomes gay. So then that brought up then I went down this whole rabbit hole of, gay relationships and sperm donations and hereditary and all these things. And it was just like, it was information overload. Like I had to get out of this rabbit hole.
So go ahead, Mike, because now I'm 100% on board now with this. I did not know that.
Yeah.
There's enough Elin Harris books and Tyler Perry shows. Download.
I like Ela Harris. Oh, that was my author. Yes. And this too shall pass. Yes.
Like I said, they ain't got no problems getting babies, Trevor. They ain't got problems.
I didn't know that though. That's actually good to know.
Yeah. Huh. But it's very similar to Trevor to blood donation, right? So I donate blood and I donate plasma, and they don't allow, gay men to donate blood and or plasma.
Yeah, I learned that from off of Grey's Anatomy.
My channel ain't never gonna get monetized.
Never. There's a dude
Why
right now.
like this?
I was liking this.
Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Who, Trevor?
I'm gonna get.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a strike. It's some, as you brought that up, it's something I wanted to say, but I don't want to again veer off a topic, so I guess I'll save it to the end.
No, say it.
As I'm talking about not getting monetized, I follow somebody and he posted something on his community wall, and I rarely comment on people's community wall, but on this I did because I want to say the Olympic Association just put a ban on trans women trying to compete in men's sports. In women's sports. So I wrote on there like I'm so happy about it and everything like that, and immediately the SJWs attacked me because all of a sudden I'm homophobic, I'm this and I'm that, because what I wrote was it's about time somebody put a stop to these men trying to compete in women's sports, because to me, you're still a man. I don't care what anybody says, blah, 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 blah. So it's just funny, though, that you would bring that up.
What's the SJW?
Social Justice Warrior.
Oh, sorry. I don't know all them acronyms. My bad.
Yeah, they come after me all the time when it comes to stuff like that, but it's all good.
Hey, have you guys ever seen the movie She Hate Me?
Have I seen She Hates Me? No.
It is literally about this topic we're talking about. So if you ever have time, go.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tonight. Where is it?
She Hate Me.
Yeah, but where can I what platform?
I don't know. I saw this back in the day when it was actually DVD. When Blockbuster used to give DVDs out.
This was Spike Lee movie.
Spike Lee movie.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Okay, say less. All right. Spike Lee.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, I saw that before.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
We are.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay, so we are. Continue.
We're gonna have a group movie night.
Right.
All right. Well, we touched on all of the topics and areas that I wanted to. If anybody else has anything they want to share on the topic or anything you want to discuss, let me know. Thank you for your input, especially the fellas, and letting me know like your thoughts. Hi. Letting me know your thoughts on it. Thank you, Shaka, especially for reaching out to more of your male friends and getting their input as well. Doing this research, I learned a lot about it that I did not know. And I thought that was interesting, but put that out there. I like that was put out there that, we do have some amazing Black fathers out here. It's just those minority, the loud mouths out there, but we do have some amazing fathers. I have a whole bunch of them that I know personally. So
yes,
we're not gonna be spreading that on this channel.
Right.
Amazing Black fathers, but the reasoning that they're not sharing their sperm, I understand that, especially if it's someone that cares about what they're putting out there. So that was just really good to hear from them, their reasoning behind that.
Initially, I felt like it would, like I was almost the first couple guys that I talked to, I was almost offended by what you mean you wouldn't share? I don't understand. If there's a shortage of Black sperm, but then the more I researched and the more of this rabbit hole I went down, I realized that even those gentlemen who aren't biological fathers that date women who have children and who are there to, help be that male figure in that child's life, because, you know, for me, depending on the guy that my mom dated, yeah, that was a potential male figure that had an influence on me in my life. And I appreciate her for putting, you know, positive black role models, male role models in my life. So I kind of want to give a shout out to those men who may not be biological fathers, but have helped women, you know, help raise their children, who have been that positive, you know, role model that a lot of our young black girls need, regardless of, you know, I'm not that chick to sit here and say, oh, I don't need a man. I need a man. I don't know about y'all, but I need a man. You know. However,
What?
I just feel like a lot of the guys who aren't biological fathers don't get enough props for dating women with multiple children and multiple, you know, partners or baby daddies or, you know, fathers or whatever. So shout out to y'all. Like, you know, thank you, black man. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. For, like, I got 2 thank yous in a row. First off, I want to apologize. My baby, whenever she hear me talking, she like, "Oh, you got no girl."
Leia probably doing the same
Mine's
thing.
sitting right here dancing.
You good.
Right here.
I just got my grandpuppy. That's all we got is a grandpuppy. That's it.
Hey, came in with my do-rag, stole my do-rag, trying to get
That's all right.
backward waves.
Hey girl, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to twerk later.
Don't
What?
Shaka. Come on, Shaka. We were on a good roll now. Don't start.
I will fight you about
He's
this
gonna
one.
threaten to bite you.
Ain't no threat. So, but I also want to say thank you because I don't know if you're a man and you kind of were dating in the late 90s, early 2000s, you kind of had to be a good male role model because most of the girls had kids. And I've done, like, I think of some of the kids who still call me, they're adults now, but they call me and say, you know, happy Father's Day, much love to you. And then I think on the other side, why guys say they don't want to date them because I have one who I raised from 4 to like 15, and now she don't talk to me because of what happened with her mom. And it's, you know what I mean? So I always feel kind of negative about it, but I've never had anyone thank me. So thank you. I never thought I would say thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Because it's trash to be like, to put all your effort and your love and your want into somebody to be better, and then to have that thrown away when they find a new husband or find a new boyfriend. It kind of it sucks. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that. You guys definitely go watch that movie. She Hate Me. I'm telling you, watch it tonight.
Yeah.
And people out there, women, I promise. If you see what she did, or the girl over there, excuse me, the grown woman over there, pardon me. She called some men that there was no sexual whatever with, and had conversations with them to find out what they thought. It's a lot easier than imagining or making up or taking how you feel about a topic and putting it on somebody else. Call your cousin, call your boy, ask them how they feel. It will make, I promise, I tell all my friends this about racists. The only reason I think most people, like most of the racists are like they are, is because they've never spoken to what they hate. There's a white guy that lives in my neighborhood who's racist as hell. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna go too long because I know the time, but ask me about the best time I've ever been called a nigger. And I'll tell you this story. It's a fantastic story. I'm telling you, Nina, you'll love it. The best time I've ever been called a nigger. The best time. You know, none of them are good. This is the one that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let that one slide. That it was good. But come on, I'm trying. I don't want to. It'll take too long. But conversation is necessary. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Don't let you just see us 4 people here speaking. Don't let this be the end of it. When you're waiting for the next time. You got a cousin, you got a friend. Call somebody and talk to them. All these things I say that everyone thinks I'm nuts. I'm not making it up. I talk to women on a regular basis because I don't like guys. There's only one man I speak to on a regular basis, and that's him. And I don't even like him because look at his beard. It's all luxurious to make my beard look trash. I can't stand his ass.
Nobody likes me.
I love it.
Nobody likes me.
No, I'm not even going to set fire to it. I'm just going to sneeze when I hold a clipper near it. That's all. Mess all that up. Can't stand your little beard.
We gonna have to fight.
And I'll take every hit. And I'll deserve them.
Touch my man beard.
I'll deserve, and his head extra shiny, looking like Michael Jordan's third cousin.
Touch
Shut
my
up.
man beard.
Anyway, anybody look? He ain't got no. Bro, we the same age. Where's your grades? You get on my nerves. All right, I'm sorry, folks. Crazy. I got ADHD. I apologize.
Yes,
but,
you do.
Like, I do, like badly. But
no.
You should have saw me in school. It was way worse. But I'm telling you, people talk to people. Like, I talk to women on a regular basis. I talk to women who don't like me. I'm in Publix, and I was talking to this black Republican, and we sat there and talked for 30 minutes with people walking past, joining in the conversation and leaving. I talk to religious people all the time. I'm not even that religious, but I sit there and talk because I want to know why. I talk to Republicans all the time. I have a friend of mine who, if I ever take over the world, he's going to be my vice president because he's not going to tell me what I want to hear. He's going to tell me what I need to hear, and I respect that. Don't live in your little bubble where you only listen to people who believe with what you believe. That's my problem with women. They only have the friend who's going to tell you what you want to hear. Leave her alone. Talk to the friend that don't agree with you all the time. Talk to the friend that go, you go So
right. You see her. No, look at Nene. Real talk.
That's why that's my sissy.
Real talk. I tell her the truth. I do not sugarcoat it. I'm not a yes man. I tell her how I feel. I can understand where you're coming from. However, I feel like maybe this might be the better route, or you should try this instead. I'm never that friend that's gonna be like, I honestly feel like I had this conversation earlier today with someone, and I was like, I'm not gonna be that person that be like, girl, just leave him, let him go. No, I'm gonna tell you, my friend, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You may not like me when it's over and done with, but when you think about it in hindsight, you can be like, you know what, she was right.
Don't respect it.
You have no idea how many prodigal exes I have who try to come back. How many friends I have that be like, man, I was tripping, bro. Let's talk. I don't want you. I don't recycle friends. You good on your side, but we need more people like that. Because I'm telling you, I be feeling like I'm by myself out here. Because I live in everyone knows if you mess with me, you get three things. You're going to get honesty, openness, and vulnerability. That's all I got for you. Because I'm going to be as good a friend as I can to you. I'm going to give you the best I can. And if you can't handle it, go on about your business. But back to what we were saying. Talk to people. Open your mind. Open your brain. Open your mouth. And open your damn iPhone to talk to somebody.
Android.
Open your Samsung and talk to somebody.
I got money. I don't know what's wrong with y'all broke people. Get some money.
You're basic.
Only on Thursdays, boo-boo.
You're basic.
Only on Thursday.
Sometimes, Mike.
That's because you plugged me out on Thursday. Plug me back in, girl.
Basic.
You don't want the advance. You want the advance. Trust me.
Basic.
Mike, stop flirting. All right, stop flirting. That's enough of that now.
She flirting first. I can't turn a flirt down. I'm single.
All right, but that's why piggybacking off of what Mike said about like just talk. That's why we didn't want to have this conversation with just the women. You know, we can't sit up here talking about the black sperm, and we don't have black sperm. We don't have any sperm. So we needed to bring the black men on here to participate in this conversation. So we appreciate your input. Mr. Straight Talk, any closing words that you want to give on this topic?
She specifies on this topic.
Just in case we don't think completely on this topic, and then we can.
So this is what I got to say about that. These type of conversations are what our community sorely lacks, which is the reason why I created this channel. In hopes that we would be able to come together and have conversations that nobody else is talking about. Because if you go throughout YouTube, I'm on YouTube every day. If you go throughout YouTube, it's a cesspool. Nobody's talking about anything uplifting. You have your rare people here and there, but for the most part, it's just a cesspool. So we created this space as a community to have everybody get together. We're not going to always agree with one another. But as you know, as Mr. Straight Talk, I mean, the channel bears my name. I feel that if you come over here to a show, I mean, outside of our sports shows, that's sports, is recreational. But if you come over to a show like this and you don't at least leave the show and like man, it's going to make me think. We're not trying to change your mind or anything, but something that we say hasn't made you think or want to look at something a different way, then we failed. I take personal responsibility as failing in that regard, because this channel is to create something bigger than what's there. This channel is to create an entire society that we could come together and try to bridge the gap, because I always say men and women, we talk to each other, but we don't hear each other. We don't know how to listen to each other because we talk different languages. It's just the truth of the matter. So when you have a conversation like this, I didn't know what the hell this conversation was going to be. I just came over just to see, hey, like, what's going on? But it ended up being interesting because there was stats thrown out that I didn't know about. It forced me to sit here and look up stats that otherwise I would have never had any reason to look at. Because when you hear stuff like this in the immediacy, you just like, oh, that doesn't affect me. And that's the problem. Too many things in our community don't affect us, and we need to start making it affect us. We need to get out of our little ball. We need to get out of our little circle. And we are a straight talk society. Not going to always get along, but we damn sure going to try to find a solution. And with that, I'm done.
Thank you. That's it. All righty. So thank you for everybody that joined us in the chat. Thank you so much, Lim. We have to get you on this panel one day. Thank you, Ricardo, for hopping in. Thank you, Juju, and thank you, E. I see you, Shaka. Go ahead, girl. I just wanted to thank them real quick.
I know, and I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Thank you, everybody. I just got a question for Mr. Straight Talk himself. Was there something else you wanted to discuss, Mr. Straight Talk?
Listen, I ain't even gonna do it tonight. I'm not.
You sure? I mean, we here. We can discuss it. I
know this is one of the shorter shows we've ever done, but I ain't gonna do it tonight.
I just felt like I could feel your energy, and it feel like
you can
something bothering you.
You know what? Yeah, you done made me go do that elaborate closing. Now you want to try to start me back up. You
no, the close was for that particular topic. That's
that topic. That topic.
So all right. So let's discuss why I came up here yesterday. Because you for some reason kept summoning the Candyman. You so badly wanted the Candyman to come up. So let's talk about your cheerleader comment. What I wanted to say is that the over sexualizing of these little girls, especially in these cheerleading things, is getting borderline ridiculous now. And I think I heard the comment yesterday, like, well, and I know Dr. Mia says it a lot. She's like, oh, it's the jeans thing. A woman will get raped wearing jeans versus if she's not. But again, you don't advertise. That's what we're talking about. It's the advertising of it. When you have little girls 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and you're painting them up like they could go work any street corner. Like at some point, somebody has to say that that's wrong. And that was my whole thing with that. I mean, I know cheerleading is a big thing in this country and blah 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 blah. But I just think we need to get back to some type of humility, especially when it comes to our little girls. And a lot of this is coming because I got a daughter. So I had to look at my daughter, and as her father, I'm extra protective because I know what's out there. Hell, I know how I was growing up. But it's like when you see these little girls and you see the TV shows where they're putting all this makeup on these girls and they're dolling them up like showgirls. I mean, you can't look at that and say that that's good. It's not.
So what's appropriate for you? What would be appropriate?
Modesty. I mean, you can't paint
these. But I need you to be specific. When you say modesty, like what? Is it the uniforms per se, like the crop tops and the shorts, the tights? Like, is it the dance moves? Is it just the makeup? Is it too much makeup? Do you want less makeup? Do you want no makeup? Like, I need, like, what is really your true beef with it?
I don't even like my wife wearing makeup. So like the fact that now I'm going to say is okay for little girls to be painted up in makeup. And what's the reason for them being painted up in makeup in a cheerleading competition? It's to amplify how they look. Let's call it what it is.
Right. No, you're right. That's what it is. Right. No, you're right.
So now we're taking the onus off of the cheerleading competition, like, and trying to beautify them even more. Beautify them to who? And like, why do little 9-10-year-old girls have to wear crop tops and the length of the dresses and stuff like that? I'm old fashioned. I get it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm very old fashioned. I'm very traditional, but I just think at some point we got to stop over sexualizing our little girls. We have to. So,
and I can understand where you're coming from as a father. I get it, because with my daughter, even her father, he never really, put emphasis on it. But sometimes it's like, really that much? Like, we got to do really like a deep red lip. Like we have to, but I will say this. So I have nephews, right? And I also have, boy cousins and brothers who played football. They wear crop tops. They wear tight pants. What's the difference?
You're gonna compare a football?
I'm asking, what's the difference?
You're gonna compare football pants to?
I'm asking, what's the difference?
No, come on, Shaka. We gotta.
Little girls are wearing tight. They're wearing these Nike Pros and they're tights. Shaka. Boys are wearing tights. Boys got on these little shirts for football. I'm just asking, what's the difference?
You see why I get the way I get sometimes. So
I get it. We're having a conversation. I just want to know what's the difference.
You're always going to the extreme. If I'm talking about a little girl wearing a crop top showing her midriff, you now take it to a football player
who's wearing the crop top, wearing his midriff. What if they're just like there are male pedophiles looking at these little girls that we're over sexualizing? There are grown women who prey on little boys. I want to know what's the difference.
I agree with you, E.
It's just a question.
Okay.
Just a question.
The difference is, are the sexy gender. Women.
I'm not reaching, E. I'm not reaching.
But women are the gender that are looked upon physically as beautiful. Men aren't. So if a woman is wearing a crop top, it's different. First of all, men don't wear crop tops regularly. It has to be a sporting event. Women can wear a crop top to Walmart.
Could, but don't always.
Nothing when you was going. Hold up.
You're right. My bad.
Showing off your midriff is seen as sexual. That's why they were going crazy over J-Lo that one year with the little thing. Oh, it's showing her belly, but there's no woman on. Matter of fact, Nene, when's the last time you looked online for a man's midriff? The answer is never. You ain't never did that shit because it don't exist. That's not a sexual zone for women. Women don't go. They might like abs, but they don't go, ooh, belly button. It really do it. Miss me. You can, and of course, hey, I say all these things knowing that 1/10% is gonna be shocking. We all know that. That 1/15 of a 90th percentile is gonna be shocking. She the only woman in the world that just go crazy over belly button lint. Oh, the belly button lint make the nipples hard. Yes, I get it. I understand. I get it. But for the 99% of us in the world, ain't nobody looking at no dude's hairy belly going, oh, that do it for me. But they look at women. And if you're going to dress a girl up as a woman, which is what makeup does, it's trying to age her. It's trying to make her look older and more sexualized. That's what it does. And if you're trying to take a child and put them in an adult position, that's how they're going to be looked at. That's why my daughter, I'm like measuring thigh meat. I'm like, hold up, right? I don't need nothing above this. I don't know what this is. Why is it? If you got to pull down every time you move, you shouldn't be wearing that shit. I can't stand when women be in the club and every time they sneeze, they got to pull a dress that you shouldn't be wearing it. That don't fit you. It don't fit you. That's what it means. It means it don't fit you.
No,
but it's cute.
No.
So's a terrier. I don't have one in my pants. Go ahead.
First of all I'm saying is I don't think I'm reaching. And it's not about the midriff per se. I feel like if right, but I don't feel like it's the midriff per se. I feel like if I'm into men and chess, and the fact that this football player who's at practice got on this little crop top, I can see a part or a portion of his chest, and maybe that does do it for me. I'm just saying, when we have that whole discussion with, guys and they gray sweats, and you walking out the house in your gray sweats and you dress like a slut. We all know what that means. But for me, in mine, I feel like you want to wear gray sweats. Okay, cool. I'm gonna wear my gray tights. May the best print win. It is what it is. But when we're talking about children, yeah, I said it. When we're talking about children and their what?
My email is m.
Shut up.
When we're talking about children and the cheerleading, I mean, like I said, I get where you're coming from as a father. I get it. I understand. But the things that you all are thinking are over sexualized are not over sexualized. Cheerleading is entertainment. It is a sport as well. But the dance portion is very entertaining. So when you go and you watch these entertainers, they have on a costume. That's all that is a part of a costume. It is not on everyone to think, oh my God, red lips, they're whores, they're prostitutes, they're promoting all these sexual things. I don't look at it like that. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I can understand, like, when it comes to competitive cheer and when it comes to certain like different styles of cheerleading, like for me, those what do you call it? The not the flag girls, but what was the team that was out and it was DD4L for life and the Majorettes. Now, some of their dancing when they're bucking, for me, that's a lot. It's a bit much. So I see a lot of that in the rec cheer, and I'm like, okay, I'm a little taken back by it, which my nieces are a part of, and I'm just like, okay, and their dad feels like y'all, like, nah, my daughter can't be doing that, but you want her out here on the field being active, so it's almost like you got to kind of pick and choose your battles. So yeah, your daughter can still be a cheerleader and not necessarily have on the full face of makeup that they want, but you can still do it very light and still could be very tasteful and not over sexualized, is what I'm saying. So just maybe open your mind to that. Like even in certain dance routines, I've seen these girls, 7 and 8-year-olds or even younger with tiny little dresses and tiny little tops and all these little things. And I'm like, ooh, that's a bit much for these little kids. But again, it's supposed to be, entertaining. So I don't necessarily see it always as being making these little girls grow up too fast or putting them in this makeup and now we're over sexualizing them. I don't view it that way, but that's just me.
Shaka, let me ask you a question. So when I'm at work, it can get easily north of 100 degrees in there. A lot of times I'll walk around and it'll be so hot, I'll pull my shirt from the bottom up just to wipe my forehead. Perfectly acceptable. Do you think it's acceptable if a woman was working in there doing the same exact thing?
I mean, it depends. Does she have on an undershirt? Are you seeing her midriff?
I can't with you.
Why? I mean, because y'all wear white. Okay, what's the point of a wife beater? A wife beater's to what? Y'all wear that as an extra layer. Well, but the guys who do, and guys who do, the guys that wear undershirt under their main shirt or whatever, isn't the undershirt supposed to absorb sweat or what's the point of the wife beater?
I've never worn.
So now nobody know what I'm talking about. Nobody wear wife beaters. Now y'all don't know what I'm talking about.
Don't wear wife beaters.
But Shaka, why you doing that? Shaka, no, seriously, why are you doing that? Though we having a good conversation, and it's like everything I bring up, you always have some retort to it. Like what I'm saying is not making any sense.
I'm not saying that it's not making any sense. I said I can understand how you may feel as a father for it to be over sexualized. What I'm saying is, just because my point of view doesn't match your point of view doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong, or vice versa. It just means we see it from two different ways.
And I also think that she may have been asking to what extent as well.
Right.
It seems like some type of a compromise. Like you want the girls to be made up. So then she was saying, okay, maybe not that bright, bold red and, maybe more calm.
Tone down.
Trying to figure out okay, what is that mark where you say, okay, this is fine. Okay, that's it. That is way too much.
Where did the change happen? Where did the change happen that women started being okay with their daughters just going overboard. Because we're all product of the 80s, I'm assuming.
Oh, I know this.
70s.
It
70s.
wasn't that way for us.
I know this one.
You guys growing up weren't looking like that.
Were we now? Think about
it. Somebody told this generation of women that to be strong, you have to be thotty. And they just passed it on to their children. They said to be strong and to show that you're no man controls you, you got to have your titties out. To be strong, and you don't need a bra. Girl, don't let it hold down your areolas. Your areolas are free to the world. And you know what? No man said anything because I like areolas. I like the little bumps in them. I like the colors. I like I like that. It's who I am. So nobody said anything, but that's how it started. When people started doing that shit, that's when Little Kim had a coochie print on in the magazine, and everybody was like, "Oh,
I was loving
because to be strong was to take your clothes off." And men, and this is why I tell women all the time why I come to them first. Men will do whatever women say. I know women like to act like it's a man's world and that men control. Nah, whatever women agree upon, men roll with. Okay, so
my Cash App is. You were saying men do what we want, so I was going to give out my Cash App to the men so they could Cash App me.
So back to what I was saying. So if women decided tomorrow that we are no longer passing mid-thigh, we're going to dress sexy, we're going to dress like Claire Huxtable. If women decided tomorrow we dressing like Claire Huxtable used to dress, dudes going to be like, yo, you saw the new sweater, son? That sweater's fire. That's what men do. Men follow women. Okay? We always have, we always will. So that's why I don't go, they're doing this for you. No, boo-boo, don't blame us. We follow what you do. When women used to be chunky, we was like, man, look at that chunky chick. Then they wanted to be bony. We said, I guess we're going to fuck bony. That's what they giving us. We're going to fuck bony. Then they went to, you got to be bony with a fat ass. I guess we like bony with a fat ass now. I don't like it, but that's what they tell me I got to like. That's what happened. It's the truth.
No.
Yes. Look at the evolution of women's fashion. That's literally what happened.
Okay, it's fashion. Fashion changes, so things change. So it's not a matter of when women decided that we're going to be over-sexualized. It's just the fashion of things. Man, that's just what it is.
Fashion changes to women's wants.
It's not all women in the fashion industry.
Tomorrow that I'm not showing my belly, there won't be no more crop tops. Women.
That's not true.
You acting like you, yo. If a dude, whatever Versace, whatever the fuck, decided I'm going to put out camel toe.
That's how he saw.
Change the accent.
What I don't know. I am going to put out. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. But if they decided, I'm putting out camel toe printers. That's what everybody wants to wear. And women were like, I don't want my camel toe out for the world. That motherfucker will go bankrupt and wouldn't nobody else follow him. Because the money, it's money. So if you're going to continue to buy coochie cutters, that's why coochie cutters are always on sale. Because when you buy coochie cutters, they go, oh shit, we out of coochie cutters. We got to make more. That's what it is. They follow
yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. I will agree. It is yes and no because Nene, every fashion trend that comes out, you follow it?
No.
Right. So women. Yes and no. She's what?
Not women. She's
then what is she?
Woman.
He's saying the majority of the women.
See, I can't speak for the majority. I can only speak for Shaka and maybe
I'm speaking for the majority because
how you gonna speak for the majority of women?
Yes, because money explains it.
Okay, sis. Go ahead, sis.
Call it what you want. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Money says it. Money, just like we look at percentages, just like we look at percentages for sperm, money. It explains it. If we are niggas like jerseys, you know how I know niggas like jerseys? Because jerseys are sold out. That's how the fuck I know. Niggas like jerseys because jerseys always sold out. How I know people like Michael Jordan? Because his shoes cost $300. That's how the fuck I know. It's called money. We live in America. It's capitalistic. If they gonna wear coochie cutters with your ass out, if they never on sale and they always sold out, that's what women buying. Ain't no
they not always sold out.
Coochie cutters. She got about 5.
They're not always sold out. They don't sell.
Hey,
The only see, like what I say earlier, she lives on the bell curve. She like to live on the ends. Just to
I
kind of
live.
make her point.
I live by
Everybody
how
out there
I
in the
choose
world,
to
listen
live.
you know what I'm saying.
Y'all was
You
doing
know.
so good.
Shaka, I want to
don't
ask you
care.
something.
Y'all
Go
doing
ahead.
so good.
I want to ask you something. Show me. Y'all keep talking, but show me. Is this appropriate? Y'all can keep
Like
talking.
No, let them pause.
What is what?
Is that appropriate?
Oh, good Lord, I'll beat everybody.
Is that appropriate?
Leia not winning.
Everybody getting their ass whooped.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not appropriate for my child. No, that is not appropriate.
No, but they're entertainers. No, but
they are entertaining. But you're asking me, in my opinion, if that is appropriate. And if my child was for that, they are entertainers. But for my child at that age, absolutely not. That is not appropriate.
So what's wrong with me as a dad agreeing with you, saying that's
Nothing.
Absolutely not appropriate?
Nothing. I specifically wanted to know what you felt was appropriate, or like what was the line? Like what made you say this is good, this is not good, this is okay, this is not okay. I just wanted to know the specifics for you. That's all. I'm not saying every cheerleader that goes out and that performs or wears, whatever uniform that they've decided to use for their particular, team, that's appropriate. No, not all uniforms are appropriate. That particular example that you gave is not appropriate, but there are some that I feel are okay.
Trevor, I think I know the gap. Is that appropriate for the parents that did it?
I can't speak for them. I guess they allowed it to happen.
I'm not asking you to speak for them.
Yes, they allowed that.
Trevor,
so yes,
that's where we disconnect. Because in her mind, because they're okay with it, it's okay. In our mind, it's never fucking okay. I don't never want to see no kids coochie print. I don't never want to see no kids dick print. I don't ever want to see it.
And I get that, but you don't think those little girls have fathers? You don't think their fathers had say so?
I don't. And their fathers are fucking wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. But you don't think those little girls have fathers?
If they have dads in the house and their dads allow them to go out
yes, and they did. And they did, because here's the thing. You pay for this. You pay for that uniform. You pay for these competitions. You pay for all of these things. Here's the thing. You can say what you want to say, but don't, when it comes to my time, my money, my kid, my family, and my food, and not in that particular order, don't play with me. So if my child was given that uniform that I paid for, and her father has a problem with it because he either pays half or all or whatever the situation is, then we're going to go to that coach and we're going to voice our concerns. And if the coach decides, you know what, this is a uniform, if y'all don't like it, y'all can leave, then we out. But like I said, those little girls have fathers, and their fathers were clearly okay with it.
And they all wrong. That's all I'm saying. In your mind, they're okay with it, so it's okay. It's not acceptable. It is not.
But that's what it is. But that's what it is.
I'm not disputing whether it is or not. I'm saying it's fucking wrong.
I agree with what he's saying. The mom had way more say so than the dad did, and when it comes to that, ain't no dad doing nothing when it comes to cheerleading like that.
Okay, are any of your children cheerleaders? Trevor, is your daughter a cheerleader?
No.
Okay, Mike, is your daughter a cheerleader?
She was, yes.
Okay, when your daughter cheered, did she cheer competitively or did she cheer just for rec?
For a team, basketball team.
Okay, for a basketball team, like school-wise or like whatever? Okay, you had no say-so in what your daughter was able to wear?
Oh, I definitely said something.
Okay.
Anything above mid-thigh wasn't happening for me.
Okay, did you attend your daughter's events?
Of course.
I'm asking.
My daughter.
Okay, so for y'all to say, "Oh, mothers have way more to say," let's go back to our episode when we talked about, paternity tests and DNA tests and fathers' right. Y'all got to open your mouth. It is not just the mom had more to say than the dad did. That's not true. Your daughter does things, Trevor. She's active. She's in, dance and all these other things. If you had a problem with whatever she was wearing, you don't think you could say anything as a father?
I got a sensible wife though.
Right, but what if let's just I'm gonna use your phrasing, I'm gonna just play devil's advocate, right? Let's just say your wife wasn't as sensible as she is, and she was like, this kind of kept you in the dark. Oh, I took her to practice. Oh, her recital is on this day. Oh, her dance is here. We're gonna travel here, and you were just that father that just wrote the check or gave the money and did whatever. Then you get to the performance and you see the outfit and you say to said wife, how is that okay for you? And she was like, oh, because all the other girls were doing it. You don't think as a father you would say something?
It wouldn't happen on my watch, so you got to use somebody else. You can't use me.
Okay, so you're at every practice, you're at everything. So you're involved in everything.
I've never missed anything for my daughter.
Okay, so there's never been a time where there's been an outfit or something that has gone on that you did not like. Everything's been A-okay and kosher with you. You've never not agreed with anything that happened.
Again, my wife knows me. Me and my wife are one.
But not your wife. I want you. I want to know your thought process now.
If I saw my daughter wearing something that I didn't agree with, she's going to have to take it off. She's not leaving the house. Okay, perfect. So with that being said, you have a voice. You two can voice your opinion. The picture that you showed, I guarantee you these dads, are involved, because I knew some dads on the cheer team that were way more involved than their wives. I knew the dad and I had no idea that was the wife or the mother of the child or whatever. And they are all okay with it. And if they're not, they voice their opinion. So it's not just, this is what the coach decides and we just pay the money and let it go. Everybody has an opinion to say what they feel or what they don't. If they like it, if they don't like it or whatever. It's not just up to the moms. Dads have a voice too. That's all I'm saying.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I think.
And it may be, but they have a voice.
I think we're robbing these little girls of their childhood, putting them in all this damn makeup and silk pressing their hair when they're 6 years old. I mean, you don't see little girls with barrettes anymore. It's almost like these women are trying to recreate the lives that they missed out on through their little girls. That's how it comes out. That's what it looks like. So now you're projecting on your daughters what you wish you could still do. And you know what I'm saying? It's some validity to what I'm saying. Look at these girls. Look at these little girls. Look at these little girls, how they dress. It's the moms buying the clothes. You think a dad in his right mind would go buy half this crap that you see these little girls wearing?
Here's the difference between you
in the house.
Right. Here's the difference between you and I will feel Mike, only because I've heard your take on raising daughters. If some dads who are physically there may not be mentally there, some dads who are physically there may be financially there, but they're not there emotionally. There's a lack thereof. So if my child goes to her father, who's just gonna, here's $5, here's $10, here's my credit card, go buy whatever, and not care. In his mind, I am present, I am there, and I support my kid on whatever she do. I'm at every activity, I'm at every whatever, but could care less if she's wearing coochie cutters or not. That's just that particular dad. That doesn't mean that they don't have a say so. They have a say so. They just choose not to care. So you can't put on every father who may be a part of a cheer or a dance or whatever, that they're just looking the other way and just paying the money and they're not active. Some men aren't actively there in their kids' life. They're there physically. You see them and they're paying for things, but they're not voicing, I don't want my daughter to look this way. I think that that's too much makeup. I think that that's too short. I think that that's not long enough. I think that that's too tight. They don't say any of those things. That you can't put everything on the mother. Fathers have to show up and be active and be present. And a lot of y'all aren't. Y'all aren't present.
The fuck? I'm very present.
I said a lot of you. I didn't say Mike. I said a lot of you.
That's what I want to get to. She said Michael versus Trevor. What the fuck side you think
I
I'm
didn't
on?
say Mike versus Trevor. I said
That's how she started. She said
No,
if
she
it
said
say
no.
versus.
No, she didn't say versus.
Didn't say
okay,
versus.
she didn't say the word versus, but she said
No,
difference
she
between
was
Michael
saying
and Trevor.
with the exception of you two, because she understands how you are so involved in
Okay.
your daughter's lives, but not all fathers are like that. Some of them are there
Well, she was
physically,
mumbling. Tell her to speak up.
but they just get no.
I was speaking up. You heard me. You just ready to fight.
She talking very loudly and very
I
clearly.
don't hit women.
Exactly, and that's your problem. And that's your problem.
So I should knock you out? That's what you mean?
What's up? What's good?
What's good?
So hold on.
Lose that outfit. I'm just letting you know.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Mike?
Who you think gonna take it?
So
I don't think
Go ahead, Trevor.
I understand. I hear you. I'll just say that. I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
But again, we're on two different planes here because women seem to handle their daughters a lot different than present fathers handle their daughters. It's like the argument me, Mike, and me are always getting this argument. She thinks that we're too hard on daughters and this and that. When we're saying no, we know how it was growing up, and the men now are only worse. So it wouldn't be right that as fathers we don't do everything we can to try to protect our daughters, and we're not going to be there all the time, but we do see when things could be prevented, you prevent. I'm not the dad that's going to say, oh, touch the stove, and then if you touch it, then you'll know not to touch it again. No, don't turn the damn stove on so she could get burned. Don't do it. You protect them. Like, that's my daughter. My daughter is the only thing on earth that I made. So as a father, you do everything you can to protect them. And if all I'm saying as a dad is I don't want my 8-year-old daughter packing her face with makeup and wearing clothes that's too small and being over sexualized, then I think I'm doing a hell of a job as a dad.
And I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I'm never the person to tell another parent how to parent their kid. Again, to each his own, because you know your daughter way better than I know your daughter, right? So what I may allow in my house may not work for what's going on in your household, and vice versa. But what I'm saying is not every dad are going to be like Mike and like Trevor. Some dads are just there financially. Some dads don't really care. Some dads, it's not a big deal. It is what it is. So I just feel like, again, I can appreciate your point of view. I can appreciate where y'all come from, but not every outfit that these cheerleaders wear is over sexualized for me, in my opinion. But again, that's for me and my child. Certain outfits, like the one that you showed, I will not allow my daughter to participate in, and I will take my money and go elsewhere because that's not what we're doing. But to each his own.
And in that event, if I saw, even like if say my daughter was in something like that, and I would go check the person that's running that particular camp, because I'd be asking them, hey, what's your problem, creep? Why you feel it's okay to have these little girls dressing the way that you have them do? It's okay. Let's take it off of the little girls right now, because y'all know y'all know that I have a problem with this. It's just the over sexualization. Even okay, let's bring it right home. Even church mothers now feel like, oh, let me show a little thigh or something like that. I just saw something the other day online. A lady like in her 60s. Oh, look how sexy I am, and this and that. Like, where is this coming from? Where is this over sexualization coming from? Y'all always do the thing that's saying, oh, back in the day, Grammy got all her bills paid wearing this nightgown. But now here y'all are showing everything in the world to every man that want to see it. And like, that's my problem.
I told you where it came from already. Somebody lied to women and see her mouth already ready. See, somebody lied to women and told them the more you show yourself sexually, the more strong and free you are. So they fell for the okie doke, pulled their titties out, and the same dude that told them that was taking pictures for OnlyFans. That's just what it is. They fell for the okie doke. I don't know why. That's because they don't understand. Trevor, look at me, Trevor. They don't understand. Okay, we have two jobs. All right, women are always going to. Well, I'll say girls. There's a switch that happens. Okay, it goes from I want a guy that's going to love me and treat me good, and then that's where we get them. Right, we get them there. We try to keep them on that path as long as possible. Then their friends and they thotty moms and the thotty influences come through. And then it's like, I need that nigga with the bins and the dick bit. Once they have that turn, right? That's what our jobs as dads are, to keep them away from that turn. We got to keep them going forward as much as possible. And when that turn happens, because they become adults, we got to make it as general as possible. It's a slight little curve, not the full 180 Meg the Stallion turn. Okay? They'll never understand that, because in their minds, being thotty is powerful. In their minds, going to the gym and having pants so tight that I can see your clitoris through it, that means you strong. That I don't know why. In their minds, going to the gas station with pasties on means they're strong. I don't know.
At the gas station with pasties?
Ma'am, I literally just watched the. Matter of fact, I just watched the video. Trevor, I think I sent it to you with the Israelites. The woman was going to the gas station, sheer dress pasties, and the black man was like, hey, why do you feel the need to do this? And he went up to the Middle Eastern guy like, you don't do this, right? Your people don't do this, only black women. And the guy was like, I don't want no parts of it. He's like, hey, have you ever seen a Middle Eastern woman dressed like this? He was like, never in my life. He's like, that's all I'm saying. Because for some reason, and I'm not going to leave this at black women because white women just as thotty. For some reason in America, it has just, look at my clitoris means you strong. I don't know why. I don't get it.
No.
Yes.
No.
You can't tell me no different, because
Yes,
Meg
I
Thee Stallion
can.
wore the tightest white pants I ever seen in my life, and that shit blew up on the internet. That's all they want. They want to be popping. They want to be. I want to be famous. I want to be seen. So I'm gonna show my pussy on OnlyFans and make $35 and act like I'm popping. That's what life is now, bro. Let it go.
It is not.
The age of those good women is over. Good women are gone. The only good women left are old, or they haven't been born, and they'll be corrupted soon. It's over. You got yours early. I'm happy for you. The rest of us out here dying with these thotties, my G. I'm sorry.
Hey, I want to answer what Lim's saying. You crazy. Hey, so Lim says, but then fellas, if we as men aren't giving the ladies the kind of attention, wouldn't that give them the incentive to not dress that way? We feed the attention that that we mentioned of. So I heard Captain Cesariak say this, and it's one of the truest statements I've ever heard. He said that black women will stop acting like whores when we stop giving them the attention.
Who acting like whores though?
Here's the problem.
What does an act like whore? What does that mean?
It's not one of them things to just wear it. It's me responding to a question. I'm just
asking. What does act like whore mean? I'm not like coming at any. I'm just
what Mike's talking about. The woman, he did send me the video, and I'm gonna play it come Man Talk Monday. Of the woman just going to the gas station dressing like she's ready to go work the strip. I mean, just the constant just giving yourself freely. There used to be a time where a woman's body was her most valuable resource. Now she's just giving that away like free. I mean, it's the whorish behavior.
Who giving stuff away for free?
Huh?
Who giving out free stuff?
Being chased after.
Who said that? Who?
Come on, Shaka.
That's who's being chased after.
I had a couple free coupons my damn self.
That's who's being chased after.
Because, hey, what did I say earlier? Men will do whatever women do. We're going to follow whatever they do. That's why men can't be in charge of that. That's why I talk to women. Women have vaginas, okay? And some men
for real?
Seriously, I know. You thought you just had a cut and was bleeding. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, women have vaginas. And for some reason, there are men in this world that don't know how to get women to give them the vagina for the night. So these dudes will say anything to get near to the vagina. I've seen dudes steal panties just because the smell's on it. Oh God, I'm near it. There's dudes who just can't get near coochie. Okay, so those are the dudes who are going to, good morning, queen. Good morning, beautiful. You to death. These are the niggas that'll, girl, I don't know why you messing with him, girl. You know he don't respect you. If you was with me, I would show you where to rip. No, nigga, you ain't getting no ass. That's why you act like that. There'll always be them dudes. They will always, because men want sex and women have access to sex. And it's the same on the flip side. Women want relationships. That's why all them dudes who know how to get pussy, why you acting like this? You know, you was over here when you busted in me. You said it was the best you ever. Yeah, bitch, I tell every girl, you know your name Thursday. I tell bitches that every week. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
So you believe that men talk women into having sex with them?
Sometimes.
Yes. Are you out of your mind? Yes. It's a skill. Yes. Yes. Yes.
No.
Hey, you know what? I know where she's going. Women love to say, I knew I was gonna sleep with him the second I met him. That's a
not
fucking
the second.
lie.
No, it is not.
Hey,
it is not. Because you know women. Go ahead, sis. Tell me about the black woman, sister. Go ahead. Right.
Don't sit down in the corner.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you why. Because, and this is a little self-reflection moment. I have been told by some people that I come off as an asshole sometimes.
No.
Right. I was surprised myself. I was shocked. But here's the thing. 50 to 60% of every woman that has ever slept with me did not like me the moment they met me. And I don't mean didn't like me as like a sexual partner. I mean, didn't like me as a human being. They couldn't stand who this nigga think he is. You ain't shit. Guess what? Still fuck me. You know why?
Because you talk him into it.
Hey, say what you want. You gonna fuck me. It is what it is. And the sad part is, I shouldn't have fucked most of the chicks. I shouldn't have fucked that. The one that Florida, I shouldn't have fucked that girl. That was stupid. I should, and I wish.
They might like that word.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have smashed. My bad. But if I knew better, I would have known that it would have been better for me as a man to have more discernment to who I give myself to or who I chase. But I was taught by other toxic men. Well, I ain't gonna say, but because I don't believe in toxic masculinity, but dudes who were toxic, that as a man, I'm supposed to hunt, I'm supposed to chase. Not that as a man, I'm supposed to find out what is good and then go chase that. You know what I'm saying? They skip steps. And that's, you know what I'm saying? But now as the man I am, as I've done my self-reflection and I've learned what it is to be a man that I respect, I would love to live, I would never do that. You know what I'm saying? But guys are young and they're taught by other guys, hey, I had sex over there. Where? For real? Where? Let me see. Like, that's how we are as kids. And they teach us to go run it down. And girls are supposed to say, no, no, no. That's what it's supposed to be. And then there's the one girl on the block who says yes. And then everybody look at her funny when they find out it's her. That's how life was. Keisha. Am I wrong? Because I know the girl in my neighborhood. I ain't gonna say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
Shaka, you don't think men could talk women into sex? Why do you think pimps are so prevalent?
I think because that woman that is following that pimp is lacking something within herself to listen to a man to make her feel the value or the lack thereof or whatever it is that he's saying that's making her feel like, okay, I am nothing, but whatever he is saying to me, I'm going to follow him to the end of the earth because he's saying all this wonderful and great things and I don't know any better, so I'm going to follow him. And then this man leads you into sex trafficking and prostitution and all these things, and it's still supposed to be a great guy for you because he talked you into having sex. Like, you're lacking something, homegirl. Something missing. Something is not. The elevator ain't stopping at every flow.
See that, Trevor?
They target certain types of women.
And correct. It's always
no, but she asked because he asked specifically about pimps, though. So
no, he didn't. He
what
said,
he asked?
I thought he
asked about pimps. He said, "Do you think that men can talk women into sex?"
But no.
And
but
then what?
Said,
and
no,
then what?
How do pimps? How do you think
right.
pimps?
And then what?
He was trying to make a what do you call it? He was trying to give her something to go off of. She ran to that one.
So that's what I went with. What he gave me to go off of.
You a grown woman.
Again,
you a grown woman. You know
correct.
the majority of women
correct.
in the world do not have that self-love or
I'm the pimp.
that self-power.
Whoever that is, I'm the pimp.
Talked into fucking.
I'm pimping them. Whoever said whatever comment, I'm pimping them. They ain't pimping me. I'm pimping them. Anyway, I feel like this. I feel like depending on that woman, if that's what she chooses to do, my opinion is I feel like they are literally lacking something to allow a man to pimp them out. That's just how I feel. When it comes to Shaka and what Shaka wants, regardless of a relationship or just sex or whatever, I do what I feel. If it is somebody that I am interested in for whatever reason and I choose to have sex with them, there's nothing that a man can say to me that's going to make me, go ahead and have sex with them. It is what it is. I'm going to do it because I choose to. Nothing that you said.
So let me ask you something. You say that if a woman allows a like a pimp to control them is because they're lacking something, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the woman that gives herself up because a guy's giving her money? I'm not talking about like a prostitute. I'm saying like her
She's
whole
still
mission.
Lacking something. She's lacking something.
Her whole mission is, I know I'm bad, so I'm gonna get these dudes to pay me, and then I'll exchange sex for them. Is that same person lacking something?
Yes, I know that I'm bad, but I don't need your money. I have my own. I can support me financially. I don't need you to support me financially. So just because you choose to give me, whatever amount of money, $100, $200, whatever, for whatever reason, that doesn't mean, oh my God, he gave me $100. I guess I gotta fuck him. No, thank you.
Trevor, everybody in their 20s and under is lacking something, so they all fuck it. Am I wrong? You don't know who you are as a person until you're older, right?
So you saying these women that are in their 30s and their 40s, they got it all together and they're not being pimped by dudes and they're not thinking men are not talking them into having sex?
You're saying
they're lacking something. Women, period. Doesn't matter their age.
Ask what you're asking first and then I'll answer.
I'm not asking anything. I'm making a statement. I don't think it depends on their age, whether they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I know 70-year-olds that are stupid, that are letting men in the nursing homes do things.
You missed the whole point of what I was saying.
Okay, what were you saying?
What I was saying is, whenever Trevor brought something up, you would say it's because this person is lacking something. And then what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She reading the comment.
Right, who the hell is Clarence? Clarence ain't getting this. He probably got worms.
Anyway. Live at home with both parents. But anyway, so shit, I forgot what I'm saying. Oh, so every time he brought something up, you would say they're lacking something. And I'm saying there is a plethora of people who are being fucked and talked into fucking. And I mean a high majority of people. So you're saying everybody that's young who's doing all this fucking and getting talked into, they're all lacking something. So everybody's lacking something except for these old women who they coochie and aged out the game, so now they're not lacking.
The old women could be lacking
something. I said these. Oh, thank you. I said these old women are lacking something as well.
So it's just you.
She say, for example, like
yes, Mike, it's just me. Yes, Mike, it's just me. It's just I'm the only one.
The only one you have been talking about. Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I look forward.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I wanna say something, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna say it and not.
Say it. Just say it and come off. Just say it.
Not how to come off bad. So we're talking about like the girls that are getting talked into having sex. You know who's getting talked into having sex? Your daughters. Your daughters that's being over sexualized. That's who's being talked into having sex.
But you know by who? Usually the same gender. Not by the guys. It's usually by the same gender.
They eating all that tuna.
Correct.
That's why I don't play that. We're having a girls trip bullshit. They be getting their yum yum on. I know about that.
I don't need to get no yum yum on no girls trip. You can do that on a regular Saturday afternoon or whatever. I'm just saying it don't have to be a girl. Right, but even if it is right, and I'm not talking about me either. I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily have to happen on a girls trip. It could be a regular Saturday. Girl, let's go to the mall. Oh, let's go back to your house. Let's have some drinks and bam, yum yum.
I don't play that shit either. I don't play none of that shit. No. Hey, all the men out there, I think I said this in my one off. Whenever you got that home girl that's always got something bad to say about you, she fucking your girl. She fucking your girl. I'm the first one to tell you. Just like that Whitney Houston foolishness, she got a thing and she smashing your girl to Bobby Brown music. You heard me say it first.
Don't come for Whitney. Don't do that.
She's talking crap.
We gonna act like Whitney wasn't eating Gucci?
That's not what we talking about. I just said don't come for Whitney. That's all I said.
Whitney was eating Gucci.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
Y'all ain't finna get my show flag. All right.
All right.
All right. So we gonna bring this to a close.
Like y'all done derailed the hell out of this one.
I just wanted to give you an opportunity to get that out because you did want to talk to Shaka about that last night and we didn't get around to it. So she wanted to give you an opportunity to go ahead and address that so everybody can get out what they had to say about that. All right. So we're going to go ahead because we have hit that 2-hour mark. We've actually surpassed it. Thank you all again so much. Thank you, Juju, for hopping up in here. You have been real active in the chat. Juju, I'm going to get you up here on this panel one day, ma'am. You one of Mike's biggest fans down there. I have to get you up on this panel one day.
Juju only like me one day out the week.
Juju loves some Mike. All righty. So we're going to go ahead and bring this to a close. Is there anything else you all want to say before we shut it down for the night?
Yes.
Just shaking his head. Go ahead, Mike.
I think all this, the little drill team behavior, I think all that is thought training. I think they little thoughtness, they train a little thotties, and then when they get older, that's what we were talking about training the other day. That's where you get your training from dancing in practice, dancing at lunch with your homegirl. That's when you learn to twerk and who could twerk better and who could twerk worse and who could twerk on their knees and who got Megan knees. That's when all the thought practice happens. And then you get grown and you done got the thoughtness trained in you and you can't get it out. I'm done.
All right. I'm just going to cut in real quick. Juju, Shaka is actually one of our panelists. So she's pretty much on all of the Pour Your Heart Out show. She's one of my official panelists for the show. So you'll usually see her on pretty much any episode because I like to make sure that certain ones are available and she is one of them. So you'll be seeing her pretty much on all of these shows. All right. Go ahead, Shaka.
I just feel like for everything, I just feel like we all need to be more present as people, as parents, as co-parents, as, human beings to everything. I feel like we all need to have these uncomfortable conversations with people we know, people we don't know, strangers in the street, because it's not enough to be around the people that we're normally around and having these conversations. They need to be expanded. We need to be exposed to the things that we don't know and just stop assuming and being, nonverbal when we do hear conversations that we don't necessarily agree with. I feel like thought life is everything. And so, forget whatever Mike's saying. Mm-hmm. That's all I know. Communication is key. And yes, and it is my dream to make every little girl a thought.
Oh, God, not my baby. Hey, if I ever catch you twerking, I'll beat everybody that look like you. No twerk.
All right, Trevor, anything you want to say before I throw you men backstage?
Yeah, one thing I did want to say that I forgot to say in the initial closing, as we talk about the black sperm. I'll say this real quick. When we were trying for a while to have a baby, and it used to always go in the back of my mind like, damn, maybe I'm the problem. So I say that to say this, like we didn't have, our daughter wasn't made right away. It took a couple of years. So I say that to say this, men, it is okay to get your sperm checked out so you won't have the issue. That's what I wanted to say when Shaka was going on her whole thing about the ED and stuff like that. It is okay to get your sperm checked out. Make sure that you can make babies, because the worst thing you could do is play the blame game. So in my mind, I'm like, well, damn, am I the person? Am I the reason why I can't get my wife pregnant? And I'm pretty sure she was thinking in her mind, like, damn, I can't get my husband no kids. So at least if you get everything checked out, then you'll know that everything is okay. So like I said, if in everything we do tonight, because it is all a lot of fun and games and shit like that, this is just how it is. I always want you to be able to take something away from it and be like, damn, they did say something that at least is going to make me think. So besides that, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the discussion. Shaka, me and you could go at it a whole lot longer on this cheerleading thing, but I'll concede tonight. And good show, ladies. Good show, Mike. As always, I'm just, it's good. Nah, I ain't shooting no dog. You talking about shooting dog water?
What you talking about down there?
I thought I was because I'm like, damn, it ain't for the lack of trying. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, we're going at it like
my
really
dog.
like crazy.
My dog.
And I can't get a baby for nothing. So, you know, so I start getting nervous. And I remember my dad telling me that you know, at one point he had an issue. So it's going in my mind like, damn, the whole low sperm count thing and blah blah blah. So it's in my mind, and then, you know, but then I finally hit that one where I just took it and boom, next thing you know, we all good. So
he violated me before church.
It ain't violation if you sign the paperwork.
Had to get that Holy Ghost in.
Hey, what I told you. When it happens, when it counts. That's what I told you.
That's true.
Hey, could you do me a favor? I want to tell y'all that story, but I can't because I don't have her FB Messenger. So could you like do like a 4-way thing so I can tell y'all the story
Yes.
about the I saw the N-word?
Yes.
You got so
I will, because I want to hear it.
Right.
All right. Thank you, fellas. Always a pleasure having you on. All righty. All right, Sissy, that was another amazing show.
It was. It was.
And as usual, whenever they are involved, we always start on one thing and go to something else. But I think we did a good job, you know, really getting to the bottom of the sperm thing and all of that and hearing their perspective. So I'm glad that we brought them in. And I'm glad that you and Trevor were able to get that off y'all chest, or him, about that cheerleading.
I mean, it's all fun and good. It's all, you know, again, but there's nothing wrong with learning a different perspective, especially from, you know, our Black men. Like, I feel like Black men can learn a lot from, you know, us Black women and vice versa. Again, we just need to have these uncomfortable conversations, and it may have to be a debate, and it may turn into man versus woman or whatever. But at the end of the day, as long as, you know, we understand what we're trying to build and where we want our future to go when it comes to, you know, our community and things that affect, you know, our people, there's nothing wrong with having these conversations, regardless of if it's about donating sperm or what cheerleaders are wearing. But these conversations need to be had, and more frequently.
Definitely. Because a lot of times it's that those assumptions that are being made. And
Correct.
I think one thing that we do have to work on, though, is understanding each other, because
Yes.
that's one thing we can't change, is that we speak different languages. But a lot of the times, and you and I have said that, a lot of times we're saying the same things. We're agreeing with each other, but we're saying it in different ways. So the message is being mixed because we're not saying it the way they expect to hear it, and they're not saying it the way we expect to hear it. But we're going to keep having those uncomfortable conversations and making sure that, you know, we can connect on different levels. All righty. So thank you so much for joining me again tonight.
I'm here for
you have a new
it.
fan in Juju,
Of
so
course.
she loves to be here. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead
I
and
didn't hear you
close
say it again.
I said I'm going to go ahead and close us out, and then we're going to I'm going to set up a separate chat because Mike wants to tell us that story and I want to hear it.
Right. All right. Thank you, and good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's conversation about the hunt for Black sperm, and that it gets you to thinking and maybe discussing, and also the sidebar conversation about, you know, the over sexualizing of our young girls when it comes to the pageants and the dance and the cheer competitions and things like that. Again, we're not on here trying to save the world. but we do want to have those uncomfortable and unfiltered and those honest conversations, because these are things that are needed inside of our community. Alrighty. So until next time, thank you again for joining us. We will be back on the 26th. We'll have the ladies back, and the title of the title of the show is going to be "Girl, She Just Don't Like You." You know, we all have that friend or those friends where, you know, we're sharing our good news and, you know, they're getting a side eye, and, you know, we sometimes have to just accept the fact that your friend may not really like you. All right. So I'm going to have, you know, some of our heavy hitters back on the panel. And just make sure that you are liking, you are subscribing, and that you are sharing these shows. Thank you again for joining us. We will be back on the 26th. Until then, continue to pour your heart out. All right. And I'll see you next time. And that's a wrap for another episode of Pour Your Heart Out, Black Women's Honest Conversations.